We begin now at the top of Daf Yomi, the top of Daf 10a in Maseches Brachos. This is Berachos 10a. The Gemara is continuing the discussion of Yeshayahu Hanavi and Hezekiah Hamelech. Reb Chanan says, "Afilu bal hachalomos omer lo adam lemachar humeis." Even if somebody who has a dream says that I've dreamt that tomorrow you're going to die, al yimna atzmo min rachamim, a person should not hold back from praying for mercy. Shenemar, like it says, ki berov chalomos va'avolim udvarim harbe kiyas va'elokim yirah. Person should only fear God. He shouldn't worry about the many dreams and other things that he hears about. He should simply fear God. Miyad, and immediately Vayasev Chizkiyo Ponav El Hakir Vayisbal Hashem. Immediately Chizkiyo turned his face towards the wall and he prayed and he davened to Hashem. My kir, what is the reference here of the kir of the wall? Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish mikiros libo. It means from the depths of his heart. Shenemar, like it says, Meyai ochilo kiros libi. It says kiros libi. I pray out from the inners of my heart. Rabbi Levi says, Al Iske Hakir, he was davening about with regards to the episode that had to do with the wall. The word kir actually means wall. Amar Lefanav, he said to him, Ribono Shalom, master of the world. Uma Shunamis Shaloasa Lakir Achas Ketano Hachayeso Esbena. The story in Navi of the Isha Shunamis, that what did she do? She made a small wall and you allowed her son to live. Avi Abba Shechofa Esahechol Kulo Bekesef Uvizahav. My grandfather Shlomo HaMelech, who decorated the entire palace and the entire Beis HaMikdash in silver and in gold. Alachas kama v'kama, most certainly I should be saved. Zechorna es asher salachti lefanecha be'emes u'v'lev shalim v'hatov beinecha asisi. So then Chizkiyahu says, remember how I walked before you in truth and with a full and complete heart, and I did what was good in your eyes. My v'hatov beinecha asisi. What does that line mean? I did what was good in your eyes. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Shesamach geula l'tefila. It's a reference to the fact that he put the bracha of Goal Yisrael next to the Shemona Esrei. He was somech geula to tefila. Rabbi Levi, Amar Rabbi Levi says, Shagonaz sefer refuos, that he hid away the sefer refuos, the sefer of healing. Tana Rabbanan, we learned in a brayso, Shisha Dvar Masa Chizkiyahu HaMelech. There were 6 things that Chizkiyahu HaMelech did. Al Gimel Hodulo, on 3 of them, they said, the Chachamim said what he did was correct. Al Gimel Lo Hodulo, on 3 they said it was not. Al Gimel Hodulo, on the following 3 they said it was correct what he did. Gonaz sefer refuos, he set aside the sefer refuos. Vahodulo, and they said they admitted to him that was good. Kosas Nechash HaNechoshes, he crushed up the Nechash HaNechoshes, the story we find in the Chumash. Vahodulo, and they said it was good. Gira Atzmos Aviv, and he dragged the bones of his father, Al Mita Shel Chavolim, on a bed of ropes, Vahodulo, and they said it was good. V'al Gimel Lo Hodulo, on 3 things they said they did not say it was good, they said it was not good. Sasa Me Gichon V'lo Hodulo, he closed off the waters of Gichon, and they did not admit that it was good. Kitzeitz Delasos Heichol, the Shigrim Lamelech Asher, he cut off the walls, the doors of the Heichol, and he sent them, the doors of the Beis HaMikdash, and he sent them to the Melech Ashur, the king of Ashur, V'lo Hodulo, and they did not admit to him that it was good. And Avar Nisan B'Nisan, he made a leap year in Nisan. When Nisan already began, he changed it to Ador, V'lo Hodulo, and they did not admit that to him. The Gemara says, whoa, mi lesle l'chizkiyahu achodesh hazel lachem rosh chodashim zen Nisan ve'ein acher Nisan. I don't understand. How could Hezekiah have added a month in the month of Nisan? It's a pasuk, hachodesh hazel lachem rosh chodashim. This is Nisan. Don't make another Nisan. So rather, ta b'de Shmuel, he made a mistake in Shmuel's halacha. The Amar Shmuel, because Shmuel said, ein ma'avrin es hashana biyom shloshim shel Adar. We do not make a leap year on the 30th day of Adar. Hoel v'roy lekovo Nisan. Since that day, the 30th of Adar, could theoretically be Nisan. So savar hoel v'roy lo amrinan. Chizkiyahu thought we don't say this idea of hoel v'roy, and since technically it is still Adar, we still consider it a time when you are allowed to create the leap year. Just a couple of Rashis here on the things that Chizkiyahu did. Shagona sefer refuos on the top of the page in Rashi, Kadesha Yavakshu Rach. The reason why he stored away the Sefer Refuos, the book of healing, was in order that people should daven. Girer Atzmos Aviv, the reason why he dragged his father's bones, Lefisha Rasha Bizeyu, because he was a Rasha, his father was a Rasha, he treated him in an embarrassing fashion. Velo Nagbo Kavod Bikfuraso, he didn't want to have honor in his burial, Lohotzio Kahogan Bemitos of Vekasev, that he should be taken out properly with gold and silver beds, with a gold and silver coffin. He didn't want that. Sasa Me Gichon, and then it says says that he closed off the rivers of Gichon, Meshiluach b'divrei hayamim, v'lam, why did he do that? Kedei shelo yavo malchei Ashur v'yimtzu mayim lishtos. He wanted to make sure that the king of Ashur didn't come and have water to drink. So those are some of the things which Hezekiah HaMelech did, 3 of them which they admitted to him, and 3 of them which they said was not good. We're now at the 2 dots here on Daf Yud Amud Beis. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Yossi ben Zimra. Rabbi Yochanan says in the name of Rabbi Yossi ben Zimra, Kol hatola b'zchus atzmo tolan lo b'zchus acherim, v'chol hatola b'zchus acherim tolan lo b'zchus atzmo. Anyone who takes credit for something himself, they give credit to others. Anyone who gives credit to others, they give credit to him. Examples: Moshe tola b'zchus acherim. Moshe gave the credit to others. Shenemar, like it says, Zechor li Avraham li Yitzchak li Yisrael avodecha. He said, remember Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Talu lo b'zchus atzmo. So they gave him credit. Shenemar, like it says, Vayomer la'ashmidem lulei Moshe bechiro amad beperetz lefanav lahashiv chamaso. He would have destroyed them if not for Moshe, who stood in front and to hold back HaKadosh Baruch Hu's anger mehishchis from destruction. Chizkiyahu, on the other hand, Tala b'zchus atzmo, he took the credit himself. Tichsiv, like it says, Zechor na eis asher salachti lefanechu, remember how I went before you, how I walked before you. Talu lo b'zchus acherim, and they gave credit to others. Shenemar, like it says, V'ganosi el ha'ir hazos lohoshia lema'ani uleman David avdi. I saved the city for my sake and the sake of David, my servant. V'hainu de Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, and this is consistent with the statement of Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. D'amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says, "Mai dechsiv." What does the pasuk mean when it says, "Hinei l'shalom mar li mar"? Peace is bitter to me. Means to say, "Afilu b'shasha shiger lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu shalom." Even in a time when HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent him peace, mar hu lo, it was still bitter because he did not get the credit. We are now at the 2 dots around the middle of the page. Now we're returning to the story of the Isha Shunamis. It says, Nasena Aliyas Kir Ketana. Let us build for him Aliyas Kir Ketana. Seems to be some kind of a roof, attic, an upper room. Ravu Shmuel, it's a machlokas Rav and Shmuel, what exactly she built? Chad Omar Aliyah Prua Haisa, Vikirua. One person says that it was an attic, it was an upper story, and it didn't have a roof, it was open on the top, and she put a roof on, and that's kir, it means she actually made a roof. Chad Omar Achsadra Gedola Haisa, one says it was like a large area, Vichilkua L'shnayim, she divided up this large room or this large patio into 2, and she built a wall in order to divide it. So Bishlam Lamanda Omar Achsadra Hainu Dichsiv Kir. I understand the opinion that said she built a wall. The word kir means wall. El Lamad Amar Aliyah, my kir. What's the word kir? If she built a roof, the answer is shekiruha. The word kir can be read shekiruha. She roofed it, she put a roof up. Bishlam Lamad Amar Aliyah Hainu Dichsiv Aliyas. Now it's good if you say it's an upper room. That's what it says, the word Aliyas. El Lamad Amar Achsadra, my Aliyas. If it was just a room, why is it called Aliyas? Me'ula Shevabatim. It was the nicest part of the houses. Then the Navi continues over there with the story. V'nasim lo sham mita v'shulchan v'kisei. Let's give to him a bed, a table, a chair, a menorah, and a menorah. Amar Abaye v'yitem Rabbi Yitzchak. Abaye says, and some say Rabbi Yitzchak say, Harotza lihanos yehena ke'Elisha. Those who want to take what is given to them are allowed to do it. They have precedent from Elisha. When the Isha Shunamis built him this room, or this upper story, this upper floor, so he took it, and he took the bed, and he took the shulchan, he took the table, and he took the kisei and the menorah. V'she'eno rotza lihanes, but those who feel they don't want to take gifts from people, aliyana, they also have a right not to take. Kishmuel haramasi, just like Shmuel, shenemar, like it says, uteshuvaso haramasa kisham beso. He returned to Ramah where his house was. He didn't want to take lodging with other people. V'yamar Rabbi Yochanan says, Shekol makom shehalach sham beso imo. Everywhere he went, that was where he had his own house with him. He always stayed by his own house. Vatomer el isha hinei no yadati ki ish elokim kadoshu. Now the Isha Shunam said to her husband, I know that this man Elisha is a holy person. Amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina says, Mikan sho isha makeres beorchin yoser minoish. From here we see that a woman can recognize the attributes of guests more than her husband. So the Gemara now says, Kadosh hu, he is holy, Mino Yada. How did she know that he was holy? Rav and Shmuel, it's a machlokas between Rav and Shmuel. Chad Omer shelo roasa zvuv over al shulchano. One says she did not see a fly over his table where he was eating. The Chad Omer sodin shel pishton hitzia al mitaso. The other opinion is she spread out linen on his bed, velo rasa keri olav. She saw no keri upon it, and that showed that he was holy. Now the Gemara continues to darshan. portion. Kadosh, who? He was holy. Amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina says, Hu Kadosh umeshar so eno Kadosh. He was holy, but his servant was not holy. Shenamar, like it says, Vayigash Gechazi lahadfa. Gechazi came over to push her. Amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina says, Sha'achza behod yafya. He grabbed behod yafya, he grabbed at her breasts. He was not holy. Over aleinu tamid. Consistently comes by our house, by our area. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina says, Mishum Rabbi Eliezer, in the name of Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov, Kol hama'arech talmid chacham b'soch beiso umahanu min chasav. Anybody who hosts a talmid chacham and gives him from his property, mala olav hakasav kilo makrif tamidin, it is the equivalent as if you brought a carbon tamid. That is a drasha of over aleinu tamid. It is as though she brought a carbon tamid when she hosted Elisha. V'yomar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina says in the name of Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, Al yamur adam b'makom gavo v'yispalel ala b'makom namach v'yispalel. A person should not daven in a high area; they should daven in a low area. Shenamar, like it says, Mimam Akim Karasicha Hashem, from the depths I call out to you, Hashem Tanya Nami Hachi. We have a brisa like this as well. Lo yamur adam lo agabe kisei v'lo agabe shrafrif v'lo b'makom gavoa. Don't daven on top of a chair, on top of a bench, on top of any high area. V'yispal and pray. Ela b'makom namach v'yispal. A person should always be in a low area and pray. Levishen gavus lefnei hamakom, because a person cannot be high and mighty in front of Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shenemar, like it says, Mimam Akim Karasicha Hashem, from the depths I call out to you, Hashem. Uchsiv tefila la'ani ki yatov, and it says a prayer for the ani who wraps himself, who makes himself low and humble. V'yamar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Another statement from Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina in the name of Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Hamispalel tzarach sheyechav in Israglov. A person who's davening should put his feet together, referring to the Shemona Esrei. Shemar, like it says, Ragleihem Regel Yishar. Their feet, it was like 1 foot, all unified. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, V'yamar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Another statement from Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina in the name of Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. Mai dechsiv lo sochlu al hadam. What does the pasuk mean when it says, "Don't eat on the blood"? Gemara darshans lo sochlu kodem shetispalalu. What it means is, don't eat before you daven al dimchem, on your blood. Before you're davening for your life, before shacharis, a person should not eat. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Amar Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov. He says in the name of Rabbi Elazar ben Yaakov, Kol ha'ochel v'shosav yachar kach mispalil. Anybody who eats and drinks and then he davens, olav hakasav omer v'osi yishlachta acharei gavecha. It says, you threw me behind you threw me behind your back. Al tikri gavecha ela geyecha. Don't read it gavecha, read it geyecha, your arrogance. What does it mean? Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, after this person is so arrogant, Kibul Olav Malchus Shamayim, he then goes ahead and davens, he does Kabbalas Ol Malchus Shamayim, a reference to what we just said, that after the person eats, which is considered arrogant, he should not eat first and then daven. Now the Gemara returns to the Mishnah where Rabbi Yoshua Omer ad Gimel Shos. Rabbi Yoshua said that the morning Shema you have until 3 hours into the day. Amar Rav Yehuda Mar Shmuel halacha Rabbi Yoshua. Rav Yehuda says in the name of Shmuel that this is the halacha like Rabbi Yoshua. Then the Mishnah said, Akori mikan vo'elach lo hifsid. If a person reads Kriyas Shema after the time, it's no worse than learning Torah. Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Marukva. Rav Chisda says in the name of Marukva, uvilvad shelo yomar yotzer or. You should not say the bracha of Yotzer Or. It's too late to say that bracha of Kriyas Shema once it is past the time that people wake up. Meisvei, they asked the question, Hakori mikan va'elach lo hifsid kadam shukori b'Torah avol mevarech ushtayim lefonav yachas lachareh. Here the Brisa says, after that time period you read, and it's no worse than reading from the Torah, but you do make the brachas beforehand and afterwards. Tiyufta de Rav Chisda tiyufta. The Gemara says it is indeed a refutation of what Rav Chisda said. You could, in fact, say the bracha of Yotzer Or. Some people have the following version of this discussion. Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Mar Rukva, Milo Hifsid. Rav Chisda says in the name of Mar Ukva, what does it mean you don't lose out? Shelo Hifsid Brachos. You do not lose out the brachos. He made the opposite statement that you could say the bracha. Tanya Nami Hachi, we have a brisa like this as well. Hakori mikan vo'elach lo hifsid kadam shakori b'Torah avol mevarech ushtayim lefonav yachas lachareh. Person who reads from after the time, he does not lose out. It's like learning from the Torah, and he could, in fact, say the brachos. Rav Mani says, Gadol hakore kriyas Shema ba'onasa yoser meha osek b'Torah. Greater is the one who reads kriyas Shema in its proper time, even greater than one who learns Torah. Midaktani, you can learn this out from our Mishnah, hakore mikan v'elach lo hifsid, ka'adam hakore b'Torah. It says that if you read after the time, it's no worse than learning Torah. Mechlal tekore ba'onasa adif. That implies that if a person reads the kriyas Shema in the proper time, it is actually better than learning Torah. Now we come to the next Mishnah at the bottom of the page, Daf Yud Amud Beis and Maseches Brachos. Beis Shammai Omrim, Beis Shammai say, Bo'erev kol adam yata v'yikra. In the evening, a person should lean or a person should lie down, and he should say Kriyas Shema in such a position because it says B'shach b'cha. When you're lying down, you say the Shema in the night. Uvaboker yamod. And in the morning, when he says Shema, uvikumecha, when you get up, as the pasuk says, you should say it standing. Shenemar, like it says, uvashach b'cha, uvikumecha, when you lie down and when you get up. In other words, Beis Shammai take the psukim literally. Beis Hillel and Beis Hillel say, no. Kol adam korei kedargo. Everybody should read in whatever they're doing in the normal fashion. Shenemar, like it says, uvlachtecha v'derech, and you'll walk in the road. You say it as you're walking on the road. You don't have to be in any special position. Imkein lama ne'emar uveshach b'chav kumecha. If so, what does the pasuk mean when it says uveshach b'chav kumecha? B'shah shebnei adam sha'ochvim uveshah shebnei adam omdim. It means at the time that people are lying down and at the time that people are getting up. It's referring to the time period, not the position that you're supposed to say Shema. Amar Rabbi Tarfon says, Aniyo yisi ba b'derech, I was once on the road, v'itesi likros kedivrei Beis Shammai, and I leaned in order to read like Beis Shammai. I tried to follow the opinion of Beis Shammai, v'sikanti bi'atzmi mipnei halistim, and I found myself in danger from robbers, from bandits. Amrulo, they said to him, Kedaya yisalachov ba'atzmecha, this is fitting what happened to you, that you put yourself in danger, she'avarta al divrei Beis Hillel, that you transgressed on the words of Beis Hillel. That is the end of Berachos Daf Yomi Amud Beis, Berachos Daf 10b.